Hi everyone. I haven't spoken into the camera in the last couple of days. Um, I just haven't made time for it. I've been spending a lot of time reading and a lot of time writing. Also keeping up with my exercises, which I should be recording and putting on YouTube, but I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of turning turning on the camera to record myself workout at 5 a.m. And yeah, I have a lot that I would say that I'm working on as an individual in terms of projects, in terms of ideas, in terms of research, in terms of what I'm reading. And some days I make major progresses, and some days I have setbacks. And I'm really recording this video because today is, if I'm not mistaken, day 13 of my digital declutter. Today might have to be one of the most challenging days I've faced in the last 13 days. You're hitting the 2 week point of a digital cleanse, and automatically your body wants to go back to what's familiar, and you probably will end up, you know, trying to get the social media apps you're used to, the ones you're frequently on in the past, or you try to go back to watching videos on the endless what's the word on an endless watching spree where the algorithm just keeps feeding you different videos to watch all day on social media. And I would say it's understandable. Built built a negative habit with these apps, and we all should be trying our best to find what our healthy balance is with all of them. Now, I did state, if I'm not mistaken, in my day one video that on the first day I didn't think that I had as much affinity for these apps as I thought, as when compared to my but peers. But what I've come to realize is that it all adds up for everyone in a different way, because we're spending 1 hour on this app, another hour on another app, another 3 hours on another app, and our entire day is just being sucked away. One thing I've learned this last 2 weeks is that you definitely have to take these social media apps for what they are at face value, which is applications that are designed to turn you into the product. And once you gain that awareness, it's next to impossible to go back to that old routine. You may continue in this dance that where you take one step forward and 2 steps backward, and then you leap 5 forward, and then you're back in the middle again. But once you start to realize that that's part of the process of getting rid of something that no longer works for you or no longer serves you, you will eventually become comfortable with the back and forth that is going to come out of this, and say, you know what, regardless of how much we do this back and forth dance, it's never going back to the way it was. I opened up my social media apps today on day 13, and not all of them, just Instagram. Instagram is the one that it's always finicky, funny enough for me. And I looked at my Instagram and I said, you know what? Before I left Instagram, I essentially set it up in a way that would make me get off the app and make me not doom scroll. I unfollowed a bunch of accounts that I found entertaining to me on the app, and I started following a bunch of accounts that essentially just talk about doing things, going out, see the world, travel, and um talk about creating and making and being a person in this world and being comfortable in your skin and all. And I just have videos of people who are working out on that page on my Instagram feed. So I knew that it would be easy to come back to these apps, but I had to go one step ahead of my head. And I know who I am as a person. When I see things that are good for me, I necessarily don't stop and say, you know what, I'm just gonna keep scrolling. Eventually, the message starts to get to me every time, and then I say to myself, I have to go do something, and I do end up doing something. I don't know what it is that I end up doing. I might just go for a run. I might go grab my kettlebells and do a kettlebell lift. I might go climbing. I might go out to um I might go out to, what's the word I would use? To flow rope in the park. And I just grab a camera and just start recording, because there is no limits to creating on the internet, or creating physically. Well, this limits constraints by laws of physics to create it physically. But on the internet, it's just simply you standing in front of the camera and speaking, or planning, or sharing, however you want to phrase it. I'm here right now because I watched probably 30 minutes worth of people just saying go do something, and I came here and I said, you know what, I have to do something. And I wanted to stay consistent in terms of my posting of videos, and in terms of my being honest over this medium, and not being afraid to show my face and my intentions and my thoughts and share my thoughts. I don't know necessarily where this is going to lead me to, but I can tell deep down inside of me that getting away from being the person consuming all the time on the screen versus the creator definitely is a psychological shift that many should welcome into their life. Some people say we can't all be creators, and I think that's wrong. I think we can all be creators. That's all we're here to do. You might create something that I find meaningful and useful to me. You would have solved the problem that I would say, yeah, I really had this problem. I couldn't figure it out, and this person had figured it out. And I'm more than happy to exchange my money for your solution. That's a real thing that's happening right now in this world, where we're exchanging ideas and somebody can buy your idea in an organized fashion. So I don't see why we can't all be creators. There's generations below us that are going to come on the internet and say, hey, I have this problem right now, just getting out of school, or I don't know if I want to go to school. Somebody out there solved that problem for them. Or they want to go into this type of business versus another type of business. Somebody out there would have probably solved that problem for them in that unique way that they just need, from their own perspective, explaining it in a way that seems to them to be the best approach. The same way, I'm not the first person who's probably on the internet talking about a digital declutter. I'm sure there's someone else out there chatting about all of this stuff. But my approach and another person's approach are two different things. I haven't really been sharing what I've been doing per se, but a lot of the things that I've been doing since I got on this declutter is just following my schedule. waking up every day, 4 a.m. nonstop. I was already doing this before I started the digital declutter, but it became drastically easier for me to just be awake at 4 in the morning and take some time to meditate, take some time to meditate either through just silence or journaling, whichever form of meditation I need for the day, or take some time to go to the gym and get the most out of my body, get all that there is in terms of stress out of my body, and still figure out that I can do more. There's more in me. There's more to release. There's a lot more potential out inside of me to release. And simple things like that just set you up for, in my opinion, what I would call a successful day. Just simple act of meditation, working out, and eating at the right time, the right meal every day. It's weird though, because I didn't think that, no, that's wrong. I wouldn't say I didn't think that. I would say that I knew the power of a schedule, um because I personally, I went to boarding school. I went to boarding school in Nigeria, and I went to boarding school out here in New Jersey. And I knew the power of a schedule from going to boarding school. But as an adult, I see lots of adults who don't have that same discipline to just say, I'm going to wake up at this time in the morning, and I'm going to eat this at this time in the morning, and I'm going to go work out this time in the morning every single day, and nothing's going to stop me from doing this. And this has somewhat come back to me so naturally, just to plan out my day and plan out a schedule and say, this is the time I have reserved for this activity. And yeah, it's quite amazing how impactful a simple schedule would help you as an adult. Really, it's just profound. I couldn't even believe it. Because nowadays, when 4 a.m. comes, it's probably around, what's the word I would say? Probably around 3:50, 3:45. My body wants to wake up. I look at the alarm clock and I'm just like, whoa. I just look at it and I'm just saying to myself, all right, I got 15 more minutes of sleep. I'm going to get this extra 15 minutes. But today, the weirdest thing happened. I woke up at 3 a.m. and I was like, I'm going to do like 30 more minutes of sleep. And I woke up 30 minutes later and I just didn't want to go back to bed. I just stayed awake. I just stood there. I was just like, I don't have to do anything till 4:30 a.m. So I'm just going to just exist for a second, breathe, feel my day, feel my my sense of being as a human being. And it's so weird because if you had asked me probably a year ago when I went back into school and I was struggling to get myself awake in the morning again, if you had asked me if I would be able to return back to the time where I could wake up at 4 in the morning again, or even 5 a.m. in the morning, I would have said it's damn near impossible. I literally would have just said it's not possible because that part of me had died or something like that. And being a morning person is so nice. It's just so nice. I cannot. Don't get me wrong. There's lots of things that, let's say, are cool about the night, like playing a game or something. I'm not gonna get into what games people play at night, but there's lots of chill things that once in a while, yeah, it's fine. But the consistency of waking up early in the morning is underrated. Us, it just is. I was up the other day on, was it Saturday? Might have been Saturday. Saturday or Friday. Probably Saturday. No, it wasn't Saturday. It was Thursday. I was up on. No, it was Friday. Yes. I was up on Friday. And it was about, I would say, 11 a.m. in the morning. And I was walking around Soho in New York. And I said, where's everyone? There's nobody out here today. Actually, it wasn't even 11. It was probably like 10 a.m. in the morning. I was walking around Soho and I said, where's everyone? It feels like New York is empty. Because before I got to Seoul, I'd been around probably Midtown Manhattan. It felt empty in Midtown. And and then I got down to Seoul and I was like, wait, it feels like the city's empty today. And all of a sudden, I started to realize, like, oh, people aren't just up. Like, people are not awake. Like so many people are just asleep or at work. And if you remove the ones that are at work, the ones that just asleep are a staggering number because it makes the city feel empty. And you would think like everybody's, and I was just like, oh, this is the time to be awake because there's no one really, you know, it's not this chaotic mess of New York. But I'm not going to get into any of that long story. I just wanted to record. I haven't really spoken into the camera since I got my hair cut. I just been posting the same video for the last 3 days just to get the algorithm going or get the consistency of posting going. But yeah. Life. So interesting. Anyways, I should share more. I will share more. I'm gonna see if I can just put it in me to turn the camera on tomorrow tomorrow I go on a run because it's Tuesday. I always run on Tuesday mornings. But yeah, I should share more before and after the run, and maybe during the run, mash it up into a video, and just show people that it's possible to get a lot of your life together from the ground up. Yeah. Peace and love. Hope everyone, like I always say, I hope everyone is having a great day wherever they are, or hope everyone has had a great day if you're at the end of your day. And if you haven't, there's always tomorrow, man. There isn't always tomorrow in the sense that, oh, I'll do this tomorrow, but tomorrow is a new day. This is actually what I mean. And any given day, your life can change. Really can. It just can. Anyways, stay blessed and see you later.